break and I gotta stop. And I'm like, I would just like to just keep talking, but I can't because we've got to pay some bills. Please check out our sponsors because they support the John Lebang Show, and by supporting them, you are also supporting the John Lebang Show. Don't go anywhere, folks. We got more on the flip side of this. Stay tuned. Smoke them if you got them.
Because the John Lebang Show will be right back
After this. That's guaranteed. Yes. If you are elderly, disabled, receiving SSI or Medicaid, and you have a medical need or require assistance with daily housework, shopping, grooming, medication, you may qualify for housekeeping at no cost. Call now. VIP Home Healthcare, 248-579-3805. VIP Home Healthcare, there when you need them. That's 248-579-3805. And I'd like to welcome our new sponsor, Pane in the Glass, commercial and residential window cleaning. For a beautiful, sparkling shine that's crystal clear, call Pane in the Glass Window Cleaning. You can find them on Facebook at Pane in the Glass.
Hey, man, it's at the bottom of the hour, man. Do you know where your kids are, man?
Forces of darkness, the treasonable minds who collaborate must and will be wiped from the face of the earth.
All right, folks, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Just hit on a couple other little topics before we give you the Thor Ragnarok review. A global shortage of magnetic tapes leaves cassette fans reeling. That's a headline, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently, there is a huge demand for magnetic tape right now. Cassette tapes in particular, because apparently musicians from all around the world want to go back to cassettes to distribute their music. And I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that I used to do that back in the day. In fact, it was so cool back in the day that I would have a dual cassette player. And some of you remember that. Some of you older people, you young people are trying to figure out what the hell I'm talking about. That's okay. Stay tuned. You'll figure it out after a little while. Either that or you can look it up on Google. Cassette tape. I know it's before your time. I know it's like archaic technology. But just like the record player and the record, it's making a comeback. Why? Because MP3s suck. You don't own anything with the MP3. You lose it, you got to go buy it again. The cassette, you can make a bunch of copies and give it out to people and let them listen to it. I mean, they have to have a cassette player, of course. But there's a company that has about a year's supply left on the planet of this stuff. And that's it. So what are they doing? They see a business opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. A company in Missouri is building a machine to make them more reel-to-reel cassette tape. And I see a big business in this, especially if they're going to be the only ones. But if they could expand into half-inch and quarter-inch and all the other sizes that you could go back to some of the reel-to-reel recordings, again, the young folk out there are going to think this is old technology and it's not any good. But I'm telling you right now, folks, the old recordings, the 2-inch, 32-track, 24-track tapes that we would record on back in the day were far superior in recording quality than the digital recorders that we have today. Basically the hard drive recorders, the programs like Pro Tools. Now, I did say record. They were better at recording. They left the music with a warmth that was something natural versus the digital of today, which leaves it very sterile. And it's just a digital copy versus capturing the actual sound and warmth of the instruments. And still, there are people who will record on 24-track tape, 2-inch, reel-to-reel, and then transfer it over because, in all honesty, digital is far superior when it comes to editing. In fact, it is so far superior that you can do all kinds of extra takes and throw things in there that you didn't want in there, change things up with the digital that you just couldn't do with the reel-to-reel, the tapes. Now, back in the day, we had some real masters that could get out there and splice these tapes in certain ways and make everything, just be perfect. But we don't have to do that anymore. I remember during my second album, we were fiddling with the reel-to-reel tape, and we would slow the tape motion down just a little bit so it would capture the sound a little differently. It'd be like a warping in the sound. We would just lightly touch the tape just a little bit, and it would cause this warping sound that you can't create. I don't care with any digital programming out there. And there are some really great advancements with the advent of Pro Tools and all the plugins that come with it. They even have programs that try to emulate the tape sound, the tape recording, because it was much better to record on reel-to-reel. And I was one of the lucky people who have had the opportunity to both deal in reel-to-reel and digital. And I even had one of the in-betweens, the ADAT, which is like digital tape. So I've seen and experienced the change in the music industry and the change in how to record music. And I have to admit, it is much nicer to have tape to record on. And I can see why musicians of today, or maybe it's older musicians of today, want to go back to the cassettes and are demanding that cassettes be made available again. Not because they were great quality, because the cassette tape was about the cheapest you could get unless you went to 8-track. But you could get it out to people. With an MP3, you send it to people, they may not listen to it. Back in the day, if you gave somebody a cassette, they'd throw it in their cassette player. The only problem I see with the whole thing is that not a lot of people have cassette players right now. But maybe that'll make a comeback because of maybe the Guardians of the Galaxy will get Walkmans back in the spotlight. And we'll be able to go down there and get ourselves a Sony Walkman, and it'll last for 3 weeks instead of 2 weeks this time, and it'll wait for a month before it eats your tape. I don't know. But I found that a little story that interested me. It gave me an opportunity to tell you a little story. I don't know if it really interested you, but, sometimes the topics are for your entertainment purposes, and other times I just talk about what I feel like because I don't feel like dabbling into the tabloid news media. And I could just read you off the headlines if you really want. We can do that, but none of it interests me. Let's read some of the headlines for you. Who wants to supply China's secret surveillance state? Well, big deal, right? Clarence Thomas, my job was worth the struggle. Ooh. Breaking news, CIA releases hundreds of thousands of documents on JFK. Find out that in the JFK documents that Martin Luther King might have been a pervert.
I have a dream.
Those are so sexy of headlines. I'm sure that's what you want to talk about, but I just don't feel like it. It's not interesting right now to me. I gave you a lot of that in the first hour. Man, I was snarky as heck, too, in the first hour. I got a little bit that back, and then I dropped down a little bit. I'm like, this is an hour where I'm got some high speeds and some low speeds, and I'm just trying to figure my way through the hour right now. That's what I'm trying to do. Have myself a little coffee before we keep going, you know. Now, does it surprise you that the FBI documents, the secret sealed documents for JFK, held a bunch of information not relating to JFK at all? And why they were hiding that documentation, why it was relevant to the JFK case, we probably will never know. But it doesn't surprise you that Martin Luther King might have been a perv and liked lots of women? Doesn't surprise me. He was out there just like everybody else, and I know he's a sacred person to some people. And he did some great things, and he's down for the struggle and all that. I get it. Not disparaging Mr. Martin Luther King. He had his place in history. People have bastardized what he did and have taken what he did and went to some far extreme place now to where not even close to what the meaning of MLK expressed to us. Nope, it's a whole new world out there where instead of Martin Luther King, we're listening to Black Lives Matter. And Martin Luther King was telling you to strive above everything. Black Lives Matter says it's unfair. Everything's unfair. And we need to do something about it. Protest. And damage things. Notice the media coverage hasn't done a whole lot about the Antifada. Antifa. The Antifada, my little term for them, sometimes confuses people. So let me get it right. It's Antifa. It's like the Donna Brazier. I know it's Donna Brazil. Okay, I know it. I like saying Donna Brazier. I make names up for people. Harvey, touch me all over. Colonel Bernie Sanders. That's what I do here. I make up nicknames for people. Hillary, the Wicked Witch of the West. It's funny because everybody got behind Crooked Hillary. It's Crooked Hillary. Trump makes that up and everybody's calling Crooked Hillary. But I got a few emails criticizing me because I got the name wrong. When I'm not getting the name wrong, I'm just giving them a nickname. It's a lot easier and funner to say Harry Balls Reed than it is to say Harry Reid. And Donna Brazier is just better than Donna Brazil. I mean, I have to give you some kind of comedy and something to enjoy around here, because if I keep talking about these politicians all the time, you're going to get bored. So we have to give them nicknames to make it more interesting. Like John McInsane. B.O. Barry Obama. The Pink Panther. I mean, we've given nicknames to everybody. And yet, because some people think I don't know how to pronounce a person's name, they give me crap in an email. Oh, it's Brazil, not Brazier. Oh, big deal. I was making fun. I was making up a nickname. That's what we do here on the John Lebang Show. You think we're all going to sit here and bore you to death? Hey, Donna Brazil. Like you even care about this stupid woman. Most people don't care about her name. So when I call her Donna Brazier, at least they get us a little chuckle out of the deal. It's like those people that I commented on the Thor Ragnarok and I was explaining my point of view, and they're getting all bent out of a shape because I don't like the movie and they're calling me stupid. Oh, you're stupid for not liking the movie. No, I think maybe you're just a simpleton. That's why you like the movie. Anyways, we're going to talk about Thor Ragnarok on the other side of this. Going to take our quick